Flytraps are one of the species that fascinates people the most about longleaf pine forest, which is quite understandable because there's nothing else like them in the whole world. On the inside of each lobe of the leaf, it's a modified leaf, they're little hairs, and so many hairs have to be tickled. The theory is 2, but if you hit 3, it works a little bit faster, I think. But the insect comes to the plant and hits at least 2 of those. Trigger hairs, they're called. And happens, the fly trap closes. And that trap is just fascinating to see how fast it works. I can see why it's a good subject for a horror film. The world knows about them, but they don't tend to know that they only grow in a very restricted area of North and South Carolina. We're in the Green Swamp. This is a phenomenal preserve owned by the Nature Conservancy. It's huge, 20,000 acres, I believe. And this is a longleaf pine savanna. And savanna, for us in the southeast, means an open stand of longleaf pine. The soil here in this particular type of longleaf forest is very nutrient poor. And the theory is the whole business of insectivorous plants developed to supplement that really poor nutrient base. They like insects, a lot of insects. The populations in the 1950s were common, but not anymore. Between agriculture taking the best farmland and going up to the edges of the wet areas, development, North Carolina coastal area, particularly Brunswick County, where we are right now, is one of the fastest growing counties in the United States. So the development pressures are great. Not only do you find houses on top of good flytrap habitat, but also people stop burning. And so if you don't burn, you end up with the evergreen shrubs coming up and shading out the flytraps. Right this minute, we're in the right habitat, and they're here. And there are not many habitats like this left, and they're getting fewer all the time. I knew there were a lot of fly traps here, but until I started visiting and really seeing how many there were, Boiling Spring Lakes is fly trap central. Right here we have them in town, in people's backyards. We have them on golf courses. This habitat was perfect for fly traps before the town was built. Part of working with conservation efforts is figuring out who you can partner with. Who's going to be the enthusiasts? Who's going to be the cheerleaders? Who wants to do something?
My name is Stephanie Hansen, and we are at the Boiling Spring Lakes Motel in Boiling Spring Lakes, North Carolina. I had no idea that Boiling Spring Lakes was ground zero for the Venus flytraps. I had no idea. I saw my first flytrap when I was a little girl, and I was fascinated with them then. It's an incredible little plant. You know, this town, we need to really recognize the treasure gem that we have and protect them.
We had people in this town who thought they were cool, just like Charles Darwin, who really liked them. And so we have a ready-made population of people here to work on these plants and volunteer to actually physically move the plants to a safe location. Oh, here they are. They're fly traps right here. See their flowers? Can you see right there? There they are. Look how well they show up. Isn't that amazing? Just look at those. Look at that. Come on.
Okay.
Okay, which one do you want to try?
I like this one.
Okay, you go straight down, and then you go around it and try to get it out as a unit, yes. Just at least put the bottom of it in there. I really realized in later life, I'm an educator. Because to get people to look after land and species, they have to know something about them. And so part of it is giving people the tools to understand what they have. or what's in their backyards, or what is only in their backyards. So it really comes down to helping people understand.
Julie's a force. Okay, she's a force. Her life has been devoted to the preservation, not only of Venus flytraps, but, the savannas, the longleaf pines. That has become her life's goal, and she has honed it to a skill to make people understand it.
We're still learning about this plant. That's the coolest thing. We don't know all the answers. Why some have red leaves and some have green leaves, even on the same plant. And there's just so many questions to answer. And we need to answer them now in the wild. We don't need to do research 50 years from now in a greenhouse in some botanical garden because we haven't taken care of this plant in the wild. We need to understand how it functions in the wild. Because if you can get interested in a flytrap, then you're going to learn about longleaf, you're going to learn about burning, and you can work the ecosystem instead of from the tree down, you work it from the littlest part up. And between those things, and considering how many millions of acres were covered with this forest at one time and how few acres we have left, it's a great conservation story. Okay, let's go look at some plants.